7:14 past. I'm Com, and he's 10 to B. We're here until 3. Mark Rosen had hip replacement surgery. No! Monday, I believe. Odds are, I don't know what Caesars set the odds at, but 10 to B, and I believe he not only will, obviously he's out all week this week because he's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday guy. Today's Thursday. He's not here. He's out. We think it'll be all next week as well. I do, don't you?
I actually think it's going to be longer. I forgot when he was trying to make the excuses for it, he was acting like, well, I can't drive.
Yeah.
And we tried to throw him the old, well, we can, set you up a StreamYard so you can do it from your luxurious apartment.
And then he
said, you're breaking.
Yeah, exactly.
So I actually think it'll be longer than maybe it might be like a month.
By the way, the airport story wasn't that good, I guess. I thought it was there's nothing to it. It's a terrible story. All it basically was is they won't let you at the San Francisco airport. My wife so I'm trying to convince airport cop, how, because they never let you park, move along. So I got my car there, and I immediately strike up a conversation with her, being really nice and going, yeah, I'm checking her bags. And what we decided to do is I never know how to operate the airport. Okay, it's like I wanted to drop the bags at curb check, then go return the rental car. Because I don't want to return the rental car. And then, I got the golf bag with the golf clubs. We've got 2 suitcases. Then got to load them onto the tram and take them on the tram and go here and go there. I'd rather drop them off, go back to car rental, and then just make my way without any bags in my hand, right?
Sure.
So I'm saying, hey, we just want to check our bags here. It's going to be a couple seconds. Is that all right? She goes, well, if it's just going to be a little bit. Yeah. And so she was originally from Ireland, and we were talking a little of this, a little of that. All of a sudden, I see my wife frantically waving at me. So I go over there, and she says, and the guy behind her confirms it. She goes, they won't curb check oversized bags. And the guy goes, yeah, they won't curb check here oversized bags. Well, they do at Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. Now I know why Guardsy did the endorsement for St. Paul, for Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, because it is the best airport.
Every year they get the best rankings.
They absolutely do. Yeah. They will curb check oversized bags. And I always slip the guy. It's like Dark said. It's just like valet parking. Curb check. Slip the guy $20. Tell him it's the only set I have. I actually have several sets of golf clubs, but it's the only set I have. And I just feel like if you don't tip him, when you say your return flight, you're going to Minneapolis, he goes, Indianapolis. I could have swore you said Minneapolis. Must have misunderstood you. Now your clubs are in Indianapolis. And how's that going to work when I get back from my trip and I got a 6:36 tee time at the Wick? Or the 6:27 over at Loggers? Or the 7:30 at the club, the King and the Queen? But, so anyways, that didn't work out. But here's what somebody says. A number of text messages.
I will say, when I went to Dallas, when was that, a month and change ago?
Yeah.
Went down there for golf. Obviously, I had flight cancellation issues. I'd already checked in my bag. Flight gets canceled. I ended up booking another flight, but now those golf clubs are not going to go on the flight that I'm going to be on. They were great. Had a discussion when I didn't get back to Minneapolis, St. Paul until like 1 a.m. Said, hey, here's what happened. My golf clubs are with me, and they're like, all right, just give us your address. We'll mail them to you. And they were there that afternoon.
Really?
The afternoon, yeah. Within 12 hours, my golf clubs arrived at my house.
Does FedEx spend money with us? Can I rip FedEx?
They should. They've got a lot.
Can I rip them? So, this past winter, BBP, Baby Brother Peter, and the official and unofficial ambassador of Minnesota Golf took our clubs to Pebble Beach, to, where did I go?
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs. Took them to Palm Springs. Well, here's what happened at the rental. I guess Seinfeld does a bit about this. You go to the car rental place, and they go, oh, we don't have a car the size you wanted. They're all out.
Yeah.
I have too much luggage. I've got 2 golf bags Each boy has one of those small bags, and then my wife and I both overpack. I got king size. I got like a steamer trunk. You ever see a steamer trunk that they use on like the Titanic? I mean, great big huge suitcases. It's not going to fit into that car. So what they say? Well, we'll charge you less money or something. They were going to give me a break on. So is it called Tetris packing? I talked about this.
Sure.
So I Tetris packed that car and got it all in. But then we were going to go to San Diego and fly out of there and this and that. And I said, well, I'm not going to drive the 2-hour trip down to San Diego with my wife sitting on my lap in the back seat of the car. That's just not going to work, right?
Not going to work.
So we decided, since we're done golfing, let's FedEx the clubs back to Minneapolis. Well, first of all, it ain't a pound of flesh and a pint of blood. It's an arm and a leg to FedEx. I mean, I was just astounded at how much it was. But here's the worst thing.
How much?
Oh, it was like $300 a bag.
So that's a lot, yeah.
That would have been better.
You do ship sticks.
Well, yeah, and even that's
still a buck.
That's still, yeah.
$1.50 or something like that.
So, but here's the worst part about it. Baby Brother Peter's golf travel bag is those soft-sided ones, they call it Club Grip, Club Pro, whatever. I've got one too. Both of them are for free. Everybody wants something for free. That's the only saving grace of this story. I got mine from the Dayton's Challenge. That's how long ago I got my golf travel bag. It's rugged. It's got the extra sturdy zippers on it, the canvas. I mean, it's sturdy, big, really thick plastic.
I've got a hard shell one.
Yeah. I kind of like the canvas ones. I had a hard shell for the longest time. I might go back to hard shell, and here's why. So mine's a dark blue. Baby Brother Peter's I got from playing in the Pro-Am at 3M. So part of the swag was the golf travel bag, and it's bright red like the 3M colors, and it says 3M open on the side. It gets back from there, so the guy throws it in the back of the truck. It's got black, I don't know what, dirt, tar. I mean, it just looks like it looks like they took it and just dragged it behind the truck. It's like they took it in a truck from Palm Springs to Minneapolis. It was just filled. It's like, well, what did you do to this thing? Then I had to ship his golf clubs. He got new clubs. He went to San Francisco. He didn't want to bring his clubs with him. I brought him. I'm going to play golf. He opens up the golf bag. We put it on the golf cart. You know the handle at the top where the clubs slide in? They got the grip. Yeah. It's bent over sideways, and I didn't get insurance this time. I didn't even think about the insurance, right? Because you're telling me to insure a bag of golf, you know how much a set of golf clubs costs? It's a pretty high-ticket item.
Yeah.
But now, so the golf bag, how did they ruin the golf bag on the way out from Palm Springs back to Minneapolis? It's just filthy. They just threw it in the back of the truck, and they probably dropped it down. Probably going onto the airplane, he dropped it into aircraft fuel. You know? They're probably doing an oil change on the 747 or whatever they fly, and he dropped it into the pool of oil. And then they busted up the bag. Don't they take any care in what they do? Am I the only person that's had a bad experience? Maybe you weren't tipping. Yeah, I was there. I didn't think about that. The rental people will obviously do a more thorough inspection after you leave. They aren't going to make people stand there while they do a 50-point whatever inspection. People need to get to the airport and make their plane. Yeah, but if they don't do it while you are standing there, I can say, I don't know what you're talking about. I brought the car back in perfect condition. It's your word against theirs. They say,
well, it's maybe why you should take a picture of the car before you leave in case they try to add some late charges to it.
Someone says it's grease from the rollers and the belts. I got that same bag at the 3M and put it through the ringer over the past year. Must be an act of sabotage. Well, you know what happened one time? My wife and I went to Scotland through a trip through the radio station. It was a 2-for-1. Common, you host the trip to Scotland. You get one trip, your wife gets to tag along. Sounds great. Let's do it. So I bought some new luggage, some really nice, Briggs and Stratton or Briggs and something or other, right? Get it in. We get the bags, and we went to Toronto first. Get the bag. It's all torn to shreds on one side. It's got a big gaping, brand new luggage with a big gaping hole in it. So how did that happen? And my guess is a drug dog must have torn apart because it looked like it had been torn apart by a German Shepherd. And of course, they make you jump through hoops when you try to file a claim for it, right? Well, you got to fill out this paper, and then you got to fill out that paper, and you got to do it in duplicate, and you got to do it in triplicate. Then you send it here. We'll get back to you in 6 months. And I just pushed the papers back to them and said, I'm not interested, because they're hoping that. I got impatient immediately. They're just hoping that after about 3 months of trying to get your luggage replaced, that you're just going to give up on it. Well, these are Woodbury problems, trust me. But I'm not the only one that travels, am I? Everybody travels occasionally. Pretty much everybody. Anyway.
It's available to everyone.
It is available to everyone. It's $2,500 would replace a couple of those golf bags. Tennessee's got a chance for you to win $2,500.
Yeah, the fan has your chance to win $2,500. Just enter the keyword America at KFAN.com now. That keyword is America. Enter now at KFAN.com.
The Common Man.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Comedy's 10 to be. It's time for Peek at the Pros, brought to you by our pals at the Minnesota Golf Association. Get more out of your golf game by joining the MGA. You'll receive a handicap index allowing players of all skill levels to compete on an equitable basis. You can post scores, track your stats, access course GPS, and enhance your rounds with the free USGA mobile app. New this year, the MGA Ladies Tour, open to any adult female member, and the ever-popular Youth on Course, where junior golfers can play for just $5 at 150 courses statewide. Get more to your game. Join today. mngolf.org/membership, mngolf.org/membership. 10 to be the LPGA's KPMG PGA Championship taking place at Hazeltine National Golf Course. Tee to Green will broadcast live from there on Saturday, but first round action is taking place right now. What does that leaderboard look like?
Yeah, you and I played Hazeltine a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. The leader right now is slightly more success than what you and I had on that very same golf course. Ina Yoon, 9 under 63 today.
What?
She has a 4-stroke lead over Alexa Pano and Alim Kim, who both shot 5 under 67s. Then you go 2 strokes back to 3 under, where you have 3 golfers. Ayaka Peru, Brooke Henderson, and Cars Davidson. They're all 3 unders. Davidson, by the way, is 3 under through 7. So she has a chance to make up some ground. And then a bunch of golfers tied at 2 under, including Nelly Korda, who shot at 2 under 70 today.
The course is playing, I think I saw 6,800 yards. That's a lot of golf course. I can't play 6,800 yards. Can you? I mean, you've got the distance.
I couldn't play it at 9 under.
No. That's for sure, but you got the distance that you could do that.
You know, and like of the golfers, you know, about half of them are shooting over par. So it's not like they're all shooting 9 under. That's just an unbelievable round.
Yeah. And we'll be there Saturday, tee to green, 10 until noon. Myself, Master Professional, Minnesota Golf Hall of Famer Craig Warren, and Paul Peterson, affectionately known as Ping Guy. I take pictures of the exterior of a rental car. They once said I caused damage, which was existing when I picked it up. I sent the photos, and they rescinded their claim promptly. Tried to pin the blame on the guy that drove the car. Had to be you, right? Common, I bought a Swiss Army travel bag 15 years ago with a lifetime guarantee. It's been replaced thrice. Cost to me, $0. Wow. I got to look me up one of those. A Swiss Army travel bag. I wonder if it's like a Swiss Army knife and it has like 8 different bags. You know, you open up one and there's a cosmetics bag, there's a shaving kit. This one says, worked in the industry for a couple of years. The luggage underbelly of airports/airplanes are some of the most dirty areas I've ever seen.
I mean, that didn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't either. A lot of people are recommending what you did, ship sticks. And I looked into ship sticks, and I don't know why I decided not to do it. I don't remember what the problem was. I don't know why I didn't.
Because ship sticks is basically FedExing it.
You're right, correct.
Not $300 a bag.
This one, and this is it says one absolute must when shipping clubs is to unscrew your driver head and put it in your bag. Heard far too many horror stories of driver heads getting snapped off. I read the same thing, and the last 2 times when I went to Palm Springs and then when I went here to San Francisco to visit Pete, I took the driver head off the bag and then put it in the pocket, because otherwise I've heard the same horror stories. You get there and the driver head, it got snapped off because, again, they're just tossed. They're taking that luggage. Well, have you ever been in the plane waiting to, would it be disembark?
Sure.
That's a dog who's lost his voice. You watch the luggage come down the conveyor belt, and the guy just picks it up and they just they just grab it on each end, right? And they just take that suitcase or that golf travel bag or whatever bag it is, they just rear back like this, and they just heave it into the back of the trailer that they're going to use to bring it up to the luggage carousel. So there's no try a little kindness with those bags. They just bounce them around as best they can, or they just get them in and out as fast as they possibly can. And then
they're probably actually bitter at you that you're going golfing on a golf
maybe
trip.
That's what it is, yeah.
And they're working at the time.
Is Rosen collecting workers' comp and disability pay? I don't think so. I don't think he can pull that off for this. That would only be if it was vocal. This is for his to get a hip replacement or something like that. And then one other one here that says, club gloves last a golf bag live up to its name. It's the last travel bag you'll ever buy. Even the airlines can't ruin it. No, they can ruin it. That's my point. That's what I have. I have club glove. That's the name of it. I have a club glove. They last forever because they're made of canvas, heavy duty plastic, and they have straps on them, and the zippers are just like triple strength. I mean, they're really big. But my thing is, if it's light colored, do you really care if your travel bag is all greasy and dirty? I don't know. Maybe some people don't. I just think it's like that. No, but yeah, they do last forever. They're the best ones to have. Of course, the hard shell ones work pretty well. Also, so 10 and B. I'm going to save that story for the next segment. I think it's one you'll like. This one was a fish wrap factory West Side that I'll get to now. We'll squeeze this in real quick. Whoops, that's the telephone. Hold on, give me one second. Here it is. Fish wrap factory West Side. This was from this morning, and it says, Wild have no picks in the first 2 rounds of the NHL draft, but they could make waves with a trade. President of Hockey Operations Bill Guerin built a contender, but a frontline center is still on his wish list for next season. NHL draft is when?
This weekend.
This weekend.
I think it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow it gets underway. Same with the Wolves. Guerin and Connolly, they got that same gene where they don't mind swinging for the fences, right? They're going to go ahead and their job is to build a contender, and by gosh, they're going to do it. The old George Allen, former Rams and Washington Redskins coach once said, the future is now. It was this famous saying, the future is now. We don't worry about next year or the year after that. We're thinking right now. Wolves had literally no draft picks, nothing to speak of, right? They make another blockbuster trade and get Lorenzo Ball. We have no draft picks with the Wild really to speak of, right?
First 2 rounds, we don't.
First 2 rounds, we don't have any. Because we basically traded the equivalent of 4 first-round picks, 3 players that were first-round picks, and then a first-round pick to get.
Well, they lost a lot of picks in the David Juracek deal. They lost a first, second, third, and that one, and then they lost a first-round pick in the Quinn Hughes trade. And they've had some other trades over the years that, like Gustav Nyquist costed you a second-round pick when they're making moves before the deadline.
With the draft tomorrow, do you think we'll have the same kind of announcement we had with the Wolves? Do you think that a trade will be made for somebody, a center of some
well, I mean,
sort?
usually the draft night, big trades happen just because there can be draft picks involved with the trade, right? Now, in the Wild's case, they're not having a first or second round pick. Their draft equity for this year is not really tied to any big move they could make. But, free agency is, 5-6 days away? 6-7 days away?
Okay.
Once you hit July 1st, if the Wild know they're going to be able to acquire Dylan Larkin, that changes what you're going to do in free agency. If you're not going to have him, that changes what you're going to do in free agency. If you're unclear, that makes free agency very challenging. Because you don't want to end up signing guys that lock you out of being able to add a big salary. But if you don't have that Dylan Larkin type player, you don't want to miss out on getting some of those guys if you have to supplement your roster in a different way. So, this weekend isn't necessarily, most likely time a Wild trade is going to happen. But they do need to have clarity here in the next 5-6 days. If a Dylan Larkin deal isn't done before then, you kind of have to go into the summer going, well, we don't know if we're going to get Dylan Larkin. We might have to sign a free agent or two. And that's not necessarily a center.
Right.
Because they have some needs at wings as well. They have to add some wings because Johansson's gone. It's possible Zuccarello's going to be gone. It's possible Tarasenko, I'd say it's likely Tarasenko's going to be gone. So you don't want to go too far into free agency and miss out on some guys, too, if you're not going to get Dylan Larkin. So I do think we're probably going to get clarity here in the next 5-6 days regarding, I think it's either Larkin or bust. I think if they don't get Dylan Larkin, if either the Red Wings aren't willing to trade him or we just don't have the right offer and you go somewhere else, then I think you hold off on your assets as long as you can and wait for another big guy to come around. I don't think you burn him.
The ups and downs, the trials and tribulations of being a general manager in the National Hockey League, NBA, MLB, or NFL. We'll break, come back. One more segment to go. It's Common and 10 to be here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
The Common Man.
Am I the only person, I think I that really, I'm not hating on World Cup, but I just don't really have more than a passing interest in it. Are you kind of locked into it at all, or?
I would say World Cup mild fever.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not watching every single night. USA, I've kind of debated with myself whether I should watch the game tonight or not because it's a meaningless game. They've already won their group and Turkey's already out of it, so I would assume you got some load management going on. You don't want to put players in a position where they're getting.
Why are they playing the game?
Well, it's part of.
Well, they don't do that in the NCAA tournament. They don't have a consolation bracket. How are they? Well, that's what I don't understand. They have pool play.
Yeah.
Then they have group play.
Well, this is group play.
Right. Pool play.
Group play is the same as pool play.
Oh, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Well, how much group/pool play do they have?
This is the last one. There's 4 teams in their group. They've already played 2 games. They're 2-0. Turkey's already 0-2. So Turkey cannot, even with a win tonight, I think they don't advance to the round of 32. USA's already, not only are they advancing, they're already locked in as the top seed. So that's what I'm saying is, maybe soccer people can help me. Are we going to be playing like all backups? Right? You don't want anyone to get hurt. You also don't want to get guys getting yellow cards or red cards that affect them down the line.
So we're playing Turkey, you say?
At 9 o'clock tonight.
So are they going to Timberwolf it? Mail it in. Just not even try. Because that's what the Timberwolves do oftentimes. So they'll Timberwolf the game. So now, okay, once we're done with the pool play, group play, then we start the real tournament.
Knockout round.
Round.
Then there's 32 teams. And it's just single elimination. Once you lose, you're out. And I think USA is set to have a very favorable draw. They already obviously had a favorable pool play. And because they're going to be the number 1 seed, I think like last I saw, they were projected to play Bosnia or Herzegovina, whatever however you call it. Yeah. Herzegovina. And then the other matchup would be like Egypt versus Cape Verde. So you could very easily see USA in the quarterfinals. They're going to have a very winnable path to get there. Do you
give any credence to my conspiracy theory as to why it's been a rather less difficult road to travel for the United States? Because isn't Canada, North America, South, aren't we the host country?
Yes.
So I just think they want it's almost like when in program password you go ladies first.
Well, they literally do that when they set up the.
Oh, they do.
They set up the groups. I think there 12 groups. Yeah, 12 times 4 is 48. So yes, there's 12 groups. If you are, they put them into like different pods, like pod 1, pod 2, pod 3, pod 4, all based off your rankings. Well, the host teams all got placed as a pod 1 in their pool, regardless of what they were ranked. So USA and Canada and Mexico, regardless of whether they were a top 12 team or a top 60 team, all were basically placed as a number 1 seed. So none of them really had a top 12 team in the world that they had to play in their pool.
Someone says the reason they're playing is goal differential. That's why they're playing. Because does goal differential have something to do with seeding?
Well, I think I don't know if that's the reason they play, but you play because that's the way the group's set up.
Okay.
Like, people bought tickets. You're not gonna just say, oh, this game doesn't mean anything. But yeah.
This one says, "Hey, Common, you may have mentioned that earlier, but I had to step away for a bit. Just curious, did Deuce make it to Kansas City?" He did. He changed his plans. He was going to go to Omaha. He was going to go to Kansas City via Omaha. And he was going to do it because he was going to crash at a buddy's place, so he wouldn't have to buy an extra hotel room. Because when he comes back from Kansas City, he's going to stop halfway because then he's got to pick up a buddy here, and he's going to visit the Hone brothers up in Alexandria for the weekend. They live on a lake, and he's going to do jet skiing, the whole thing, right? But he decided because he's working remotely today, so it was like, do I drive to Omaha? Then I have to get up really early and go to drive from Omaha to Kansas City, or do I just straight to KC? So he's ponying up for an extra hotel room, and he is paying, not ATM, not Dad. He's using his own money, so that's good for him. This one says the host country gets put in their A tier of teams automatically, so that's why their group is easy. Yeah, kind of what you're saying. Well, anyway, good luck to the United States of America, and hopefully that we can. We're not. If we were to win World Cup, would it rival in any way, shape, or form Miracle on Ice, or is that sacrilegious to say? I mean, because we can't be ranked as. I thought I saw the rankings of the teams who were like maybe in the top 20-ish.
They were like a 15, 16, 17 ranking heading in. So I don't think it'd be the biggest upset, but the people that actually know soccer say USA can't win.
Yeah.
But I would also say it's soccer. Soccer's the one sport, especially once you get in the knockout round, you just make a 0-0 tie and win in penalty kicks. Like it's set up for teams that aren't as talented to be able to pull off upsets.
Seems like every day, another job is taken over by technology, right? Another job is just eliminated. due to technology. Some of the jobs that have been eliminated, the one that just comes to mind right off the top of my head is checkout people. We've talked about that. Self-checkout has eliminated a lot of employees, right? I ran across a list from, this is one of my favorite websites. It's called The Pioneer Woman. You ever scroll?
Never been to that website, no.
You'd love it. Great stuff. They have a section called Just for Fun. And tend to be, if we're having fun, the listeners are having fun.
Correct.
So maybe they'll have fun here. This is called Just for Fun. 38 odd jobs that no longer exist. Number one on that list, the milkman.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a milkman anymore. Every morning back in the 1950s, like clockwork, the milkman would deliver bottles and jugs filled to the brim with milk. If you were lucky, sometimes he'd even deliver other kitchen essentials like eggs and butter. But that has gone by the wayside. It is no longer there. You get those from the grocery store. Why can you not? Is it just a cost-effective thing? What if you wanted fresh milk every day, or is it just because now everything's homogenized and pasteurized? You look at you look at the best if you. By the way, you know we've talked about expiration date expired on items. Dairy, you're really supposed to pay attention to. You know, because some you'll go like for instance, like if I stumbled across a bottle of Advil in the house, right? I was looking for Advil because sometimes I want to take the swelling down from before I play golf, right? So it said December of 2025. That's 6 months ago. Not going to kill me. I don't even think it loses much of its effectiveness. But if you have a carton of milk in there that says December of 2025, don't drink it.
It's green.
Well, matter of fact, you can't drink it. Yeah. You'd have to chisel it out.
How come? I feel like these days you'd have like an almond milk man.
Yes.
Some different types of milk.
Almond milk. Elevator operator. There used to be someone that operated the elevator.
If you go to Minnesota Wild games, they have one in the elevator that brings it to the press box.
They do have that, don't they?
Yeah.
Elevators didn't always move with the simple push of a button. Back in the day, elevator operators were in charge of controlling everything from the doors and direction to the speed and capacity of the elevator car. A lot of layers. It's a hell of a job. What do you do for a living? I operate an elevator. Here's a job that they say no longer exists. Hacker. They've not watched 10 play golf. Or me play golf either. A hacker, not a computer hacker. Hackers were known as woodcutters.
I say there's plenty of computer hackers.
Yeah. I'm not making this up. This is on the list. A Gandy dancer. Gandy. Gandy dancer.
Huh?
A Gandy dancer actually has nothing to do with moving your hips. The title is slang for a railroad worker who maintained the tracks years before the work was done by machines. Why would they have called him a Gandy dancer? What's the origin of that name? Look up origin of Gandy dancer while I get to the next job. Here's another one that does not exist anymore. A chimney sweep. Chimney, chim chiroo. There was a time where chimneys were only real wood. You would have to burn wood in the chimney, and the soot would go up. It would get so thick in there, you'd have to have somebody go in there and clean it out. Now you've got the one where there's just a flip of a switch and the fire starts like that. Though my one in the basement doesn't work because spiders will get in there. I'm not making this up, and they'll spin a spider web, and then it gets in the way of where the switch is supposed to ignite the lighter, and it won't work. God is my witness. That's what they told me. And I tend to believe them. Does it have a origin for Gandy dancer?
I'm on Wikipedia. It says there are various theories about the derivation of the term, but most refer to the dancing movements of the workers using a specifically manufactured 5-foot lining bar, which came to be called a Gandy, as a lever to keep the tracks in alignment.
And then their hips would move around, sort of like Elvis Presley. Okay, I get it. How about this, Timmy? You may have known this. My dad did this, he told me, when he was a kid. a pin setter. The bowling alleys back in the olden days didn't have that automatic. It took a while for somebody to invent that. And you know who I think invented it? Ben Franklin. Either that or Thomas Edison. Must have, right? We talked about inventions yesterday. Could have been Thomas Edison. Either that or Dick Weber, one or the other. The workers usually manually organized the pins for every game. The job was sent to the gutter. It's like the Power Trip Morning Show. It's so funny. Once the mechanical pin setter. You know who invented the mechanical pin setter, Tenneby? Gottfried Schmidt back in 1936. Who would have known it? Who would have ever thought it was anybody else?
And is that like the same technology we use now, or is that evolved over the years?
That I don't know. They probably tweaked it some, right? Switchboard operator. Can you even call an operator now? Can you dial 0 on your phone and go, operator, may I help you?
They'd be like, this no longer exists. Try Google.
Yeah, that's exactly what they would say. Like the way of the phone book. Remember when they would deliver the phone book?
Oh, yeah.
Every year they deliver a great big huge phone book to your front door.
Yellow pages, white pages.
The early 80s, the position of operator became. Typists are still in demand today, most without a typewriter. In the 1940s, typists were popular positions within the publishing, administrative, and clerical industries. The role today has simply been upgraded with computers. What else? Oh, I don't even believe this one. Clockwinder. A clockwinder did exactly what the name insinuates, wind clocks. It was only a matter of time before electric clockwinders, which require less maintenance and fewer repairs, were produced during the Industrial Revolution. Well, how often would you have to wind? That can't be a full-time job. How often do you have to wind a clock? I mean, it's not like you're doing it 8 hours a day, are you? This is one, and I knew about this job. They were called icemen. Because before there were refrigerators, they would carve out blocks of ice out of the lake, and then they would have to haul them up and then put them in. They would be your refrigerator. I don't know how long they would last. I guess till the ice melted, right? That'd be a hit.
It's in the movie Frozen.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a job.
First scene.
How about the job of a fuller?
A what?
Max, Max Fuller. Phil and Fuller. A fuller is a job that every parent can relate to, washing clothes. In the medieval era, fullers cleaned cloth to rid the textiles of oil and dirt. Afterward, the material was bound together to create clothing and other items. A hobbler got his nickname in the mid-1800s from hobbling around and balancing on both decks of a ship. But the real job was to tow river and canal boats. Similar deckhand positions today still exist, but they don't go by those names anymore. Oh, this is another made-up one. A knocker-upper. Yoga pants, breasts. Before the first mechanical alarm clock was invented in 1847, people hired knocker-uppers to help shoot peas at their windows or tap the glass with long poles so they didn't oversleep for work or during an afternoon snooze. Then the alarm was born, which we all now have a love-hate relationship with. So you would hire somebody to tap on your window, knock 3 times on the ceiling.
I have to imagine, like the people that work the front desks at hotels. The best thing that ever happened to them is these cell phones where you have an alarm on your phone now because you see wake-up calls all the time.
I need a wake-up call at 5 a.m. Lamplighter, now defunct topless bar or strip club in St. Paul. Lamplighter in the late 1800s, early 1900s was precisely that. Someone who was employed to light street lamps. Only a small number still exist. That is, the majority of street light is now electric. See, what do you do for a living? I light lamps. A lector. We can all relate to needing a little distraction at work. Well, lectors were the source of entertainment back in the 20s. They read news and literature out loud to employees, almost like an adult bedtime story without the bedtime. Although some pastors and educators are called lectors today, this type of lecture was dismissed for most likely being too distracting at work. That's what I do for a living. I'm a lector. That's exactly what I do. I go from cubicle to cubicle and I distract people, right?
Yeah.
Does this define me? Lectors were the source of entertainment back in the 20s. We use the word entertainment lightly. They read news and literature out loud to employees, almost like a bedtime story. Too distracting at work. This would be an awful job. A leech collector.
Huh?
In the 19th century, medicinal leeches were thought of as medical miracles that would suck toxic blood and disease from the body. Who came up with that?
Got that one wrong, huh?
The profession was stopped as even more disease began to spread, sucking the life out of the entire leech collector operation. Power Trip Morning Show. A log driver. Up until the 1970s, log drivers helped move huge tree trunks from the forest to sawmills for construction purposes. The job didn't make the cut as modern transportation progressed. Mudlark?
Huh?
Typically an occupation dominated by those in extreme poverty, mudlarks scavenged through river mud in search of valuable items that were resold to the public. In 1904, this job was viewed as unlawful and was frowned upon. If I want to dig through the mud, I'll dig through the mud. My name's been dragged through the mud, so why not? Well, now it's just homeless people going through garbage cans, right? It's really much of the same thing. I'll leave this one with you. And you just use your best guess.